This episode reveals 5 game-changing items that you can get for under £20 to significantly improve your commercial photography.
Welcome to Commercial Photographer, your guide to marketing, creativity, and growth. This is a podcast that helps professional, commercial, brand, and headshot photographers navigate the competitive world of commercial photography with practical advice and actionable strategies to grow your business.
Hi Marcus, how are you doing?
I am very well, thank you, Sam. And how are you?
Very good, thanks. So, in today's show, we've got some absolute gems for you. In fact, we're talking about how to seriously level up your photography without spending a fortune. We've got 3 things you learn just by listening to this episode. First off, we'll tell you about how 2 bits of low-cost gear that will completely transform the way you manage light. Secondly, we'll point you towards some resources that will change the way that you think about photography itself and your creative process. And finally, we'll talk about a simple investment that could save your shoot and make the professional workflow look a lot slicker. Listen to the rest of the show to find out more. Okay, Marcus. So, you've got some things to talk about with ways we can spend very little money and gain lots for our business. So I'm all ears. Let's go.
Yeah, well, here we go. So I've got 5 things you can purchase for under £20 that will make you into a better photographer. Or better image.
Right, I'm ready. My list is here. My Amazon shopping list is started. Let's go, Marcus. Number 1.
Yes, I did check these prices, so we're just about okay. So number 1 is we're going to go for the collapsible reflector. So I'm sure that a lot of photographers have got these already, but for me, it's one of my most used bit of kit. What it basically is, it's you can imagine a white card or white bit of fabric that bounces light back into the subject. So natural light normally comes from the top, from the sun. So this will sort of bounce it back into, fill in under the subject's eyes or chin or whatever. So uber useful and to be used with natural light or flashlight. So
you can, they're that cheap, are they nowadays?
Oh, yes. I did check in the price. I mean, you can get different sizes, Sam. They vary from about, 12 inches, 300 centimeters up to, absolutely massive. So obviously that price is on the smaller side. But
hang on, 300 centimeters, that's 3 meters.
Oh,
you mean
sorry,
30 centimeters?
30 centimeters. I'm not good. I'm definitely not of the metric age, am I? So the size is 30 centimeters, as you say, up to very big. And, basically they all fold up into a nice little bag, like a pop-up tent or whatever. And I've got various sizes, and I use them a lot. So when you buy them, and you can get them for under £20, obviously the smaller size. When you get them, they come in different colours of reflection. You get some odd ones. You can get a kit of 5, which is like a black in there, a gold, a silver, a white, and maybe a see-through as well. But the most useful one by far is the white and silver side. The gold, they call it California bounce. I would never see you using.
Sounds like you'll end up looking like Trump.
You're right. That's exactly right, Sam. You will end up looking like Trump. So the most useful ones are white and silver. And I would recommend, maybe if you can afford it, pay a little bit more and get something that's a little bit better quality. They do last a bit longer. The silver can sometimes fleck off a little bit and they get a bit tatty. Yeah. The better quality ones last for longer. Manfrotto and Last-A-Light are the better quality ones. You can also get them with a handle. So they're like a triangle shape this time with a handle that you hold on to. Yeah. And that makes it, you can have a camera in one hand and hold the reflector in the other. So that makes it a lot more useful. The other way is by getting a stand, and you can, obviously that's extra than £20, but you can get like a little stand that it goes on. So very, very useful for natural light outside, flash into studio will really change your photography.
Ideal. Perfect. Number 1, tick on the list. Under £20, but better if you spend slightly over, will last you longer. Next one then.
Are you tired of competing on price and chasing one-off photo shoots? Then join me in Bristol this October the 21st to the 22nd for a hands-on branding photography masterclass. We'll cover creative concepts, lighting, colour grading, posing, camera selection, plus a dive into photography history for inspiration. You'll learn how to attract premium clients who see you as a creative partner, not just another photographer. There are limited spaces, but if you're ready to transform your photography business, then go to my website, marcusarmad.com, and click on the link UK Masterclass. You can join the waiting list from there. The next one I'm going to go for is what we call a scrim, or it's a diffuser. And this time, this is a piece of fabric, and I have mentioned this before in shows, that goes up in front of like a window to block off the sun this time, or to diffuse the sun. When you've got a really sunny day, which we sometimes do get in the UK, this is great to put over a window. But my cheap way around it is just to go and buy a shower curtain.
Okay.
They're about £5 or £6. They're about 1.8 meters by 1.8 meters base, and it folds up into, just like a little square. You can put it in your bag. And then and they're about £6, as I say. And with the extra money left over, you can go and buy some clips to hold it on with. So even less than £20.
Amazing. And we're not talking about then a diffuser for a flash. We're talking about just for the natural light coming in through the window.
Actually, Sam, now you mentioned it, you're right. You can use it for a flash if you wanted to. The flash kits that I've got diffusers built in, but you could use it. But I use it when I'm using natural light and it's by a bright window. It just helps soften the light and balance it up for the exposure.
It's funny that, because we were at, I was in Croatia recently on holiday and went to a place called Pula.
Yes.
And in Pula, if you've heard of it, is this huge Roman amphitheatre. It is the same size as the one in Rome, and it's much, much better condition. So it's like really impressive. It's really cool. And it's so funny. It's sunset. My daughter suggested going at sunset. So that'll be nice. And obviously it's a TikTok thing. And at sunset, you cannot move for people doing selfies at this place. It's mental. But anyway, so it got a bit later and my daughters had got dressed up and they wanted some nice pictures with the Roman amphitheatre. And as it got darker, they were struggling with the light, and they've got kind of fancy automatic cameras, so they're quite good. They've got a huge zoom for safari and stuff, but it's still, the flash, the little flash pops up. And when the little flash pops up, it's really harsh, the light, isn't it? It's like, so do you want no flash and you're really dark, or you've got this rabbit in the headlights job. So I made a diffuser, Marcus, from the receipt I had in my pocket. A receipt from the supermarket over the flash. And then it was lovely. Instead of that rabbit in the headlights or the dark, it was perfect diffusion. So yes, there we go. Even less than the £20, Marcus. I found the receipt in my pocket, little diffuser over the flash.
Perfect, Sam. Perfect. You're spot on there. That's what I used to do in the old days with my point and shoot cameras. And you can even get the old Galaxy Street wrappers, the little coloured wrappers, and you could use those and put them on the flash. And they give you like a little coloured shell effect. Okay.
Oh, yeah. We're back to looking like Trump again now.
We are. Okay. So my third one on my list is a tether cable. So what this does, it connects your camera to your computer. And when you take an image, you can see it instantly on your software of choice, which could either be Lightroom or the one I use, Capture One. So the advantage of this is that you get to see your image, first of all, a lot bigger than the back of the camera, depending on your screen size, of course. But also, this is more important, you see it as a RAW file. Because when you look at an image on the back of your camera, you're seeing the JPEG. So if you're shooting in RAW, which I'm sure everybody is, you get to see what the actual file looks like when you shoot tethered.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot more accurate in its exposure. You can get cables at very different lengths, but you want to get the longest one really possible, which is about 5 meters. After that, the signal starts to slow it down or get slowed down, something like that, and it doesn't work so well. Now, my price point I give on £20, people are going to be saying, "Oh, Marcus, you got that wrong," because there are certain cables of a certain colour that are a lot more expensive than that. I've used those cables and they are very good, but I've also used cheaper ones, and really, almost just as good. So
The
you
image
can
gets
get
there.
it for less 20%.
That's it.
Yeah.
And what's your thought on client seeing it with shooting tethered? In terms of the client seeing it.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely use it. I definitely use it when my clients, so my clients can see it. It doesn't bother me at all. It opens up a great conversation. Yeah, it just means they can see what you're shooting and they can make sure they're happy with it. So no problems with that.
Okay, so it's a benefit for both of you. You can see much more clearly rather than that lid, because you don't see much, do you, on that little screen? It gives you you can see if you've got the composition, but you're right in terms of that exposure and stuff. If you're really bad, you can see, but you can't see subtlety much, can you, on those screens?
No, exactly. And I keep saying, it's a JPEG you're looking at, not the raw file.
Yeah, so there's already lots of stuff happen to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more. Well, it's going to have be a lot more contrasty than it would be on the raw file. So to get it, and now of course it's a FAT cable connected to the camera, etc., etc. But I shoot a lot tethered, and it really has upped my game on photography because you can really hone in on the details.
Yeah,
if you've got a little bit left over, if you've got a little bit left over from your £20 for this cable, you can. I would recommend buying a little clip or block that attaches it to the camera so it doesn't pull out.
It doesn't fall out accidentally.
Yeah, it doesn't fall out.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So what were you going to say,
I guess the other thing is if you're going to do this with a client, try it first. So, because it's going to be, isn't it? The first time you do it, it's going to be, what do we do with the software? How's try it first. Don't do it the first time with a client.
Yeah, back in the day, Lightroom, when Lightroom did start off doing it, and their tethered was not too good, and it would always keep dropping out, which is why I swapped to Capture One primarily, because their tethering is a lot secure. But I think Lightroom have addressed that issue now, and it's a lot more stable.
Okay, excellent. Okay. So we've got our collapsible reflector, we've got our diffuser, we've got our tether cable. What is next?
Yes. Well, I've got two things that aren't equipment-based, and they're more about ideas-based, of course. Oh. Okay, so I'm just going to read from my notes I've got on these, because I'm going to be talking about, excuse me one second, I'm going to be talking about two books. You can get two books at about £10 each. I've looked on Amazon or other bookshop sellers, and you can get them for this. The first book, and they're both books, are like de rigueur for university students. So anybody who's done a BA photography degree will recognize his book straight away. The first one I'm going to go for is by Susan Sontag, and it's called On Photography. Okay. So I'm reading this out. So it's a highly influential yet polarizing work of cultural criticism published in 1977. Composed of a series of essays, this book is not a technical guide, but a philosophical and aesthetic examination of how photography affects our relationships with reality, our understanding of history, and our social rituals. Okay, so it's a heavyweight book, and it might even put you off photography. It's all about critical thinking. So you might agree with it, you might not, but critical thinking will start you thinking about really what a photograph means. So a nice book.
And in what way is it polarizing? Why is it polarizing?
Guys, it's a long time since I read it, but I would say when I did read it, it was a bit anti-photography. It's strange, isn't it?
It's a photography book that's anti-photography. Yes. Okay. Yes. Marcus's tip is put yourself off photography.
Yeah, I just say it's critical thinking. So it's not necessarily, it's going to say, this is going to make you, whatever. You get the idea. Just as a little side note, Susan Sontag was the partner of Annie Leibovitz.
Okay. Which reminds me, Marcus, over the quick Sam's second story of the show. Over the summer, I was also passing through London. Yeah, went into the V&A. I'd not been in for a little bit. I hadn't realised they've got a whole photography section there. So but when you're mentioning all these photographers in the show, where there was one photo from each of them as I went through, they had a lot of photos from, just like one from this famous photographer, one from another, and then like a whole series of cameras and all sorts of things. Yes, well worth a visit if you're in the area.
Yeah. Anything that stuck in your mind? Any photographs that you remember from it, Sam?
I'm trying to remember some of the old ones. It was like some of the very first photography ones, and I can't remember the photography. Some of the black and white that were original, back from the 1880s.
Oh yes.
80s,
1860s, 1880s.
Wow. They had some kind of really original glass. I think they had the first picture with a person in or something like that. So I think those really stuck out because they were just so it was just kind of such a shock at the time.
They do, and they make the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, don't they? Because they're a bit spooky, aren't they, when you look at old photographs?
They can be. And one was interesting. It had a train, and it was saying, that was coming in at just the same time. So those two revolutionary things coming in together.
Yes.
The train and the photographs and the kind of the photography of the train was bringing them together.
Yeah. I mean, a golden age for sure of invention. That's very true.
And enough of my digression. Number 5, Marcus.
Okay. We're still on number. We're still on the book.
Oh, I see. Number 4 is split into 2. Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought 4 and 5 were booked. Go on. 4 part 2.
The second book is Ways of Seeing, which is a 1972 book and BBC television series by the art critic John Berger. That changes traditional Western art aesthetics by revealing the hidden political and social ideologies in visual image. Okay, it's a bit, highbrow, but the work argues that our perception of art is not natural, but shaped by history, power structures, and the economic traditions of painting. Wow, there you go. So, yeah, it's another classic. It's not necessarily about photography, but it's about how we see things and how we perceive. Again, it's all about this word critical thinking.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 books, sneaked 2 for the price of 1 in there, Marcus.
Oh,
very
yeah,
good.
Definitely. I checked the prices. You can get that.
There we go.
And my final one is also about critical thinking, and it's but this time it's a TV series.
Oh.
And this is brilliant. We used to show this to the students at uni all the time. The first week they'd be watching the 6 episodes of The Genius of Photography, which came out, I think it was in the 1980s or very early 90s. You can see it, parts of it on YouTube, but it's not very good quality. I really recommend that you get the DVD, and that's, I'm afraid, all you can get is the DVD, and it is £20. I did check, and it is absolutely brilliant. Sam, have you seen it at all?
No, not heard of it at all.
Yeah, it's really, really good. So The Genius of Photography, and I'm reading this out again, The Genius of Photography is a 6-part documentary series produced by the BBC exploring the history and impact of photography. It covers the evolution of the art form from its beginnings with the daguerreotype, which you were just referring to earlier, to the digital age, examining various aspects like portraits, photojournalism and advertising. The series includes interviews with prominent photographers such as William Eggleston, Nan Goldin, and Martin Parr. The 6 series are, one's called Fixing the Shadows, one's called Document for Artists, Right Place, Right Time, Paper Moves, We Are Family, and Snap Judgments. The documentary has an accompanying book by Jerry Badger, who used to be my old art teacher, that further explores the history and significance of the photograph, including discussions with the renowned photographers and images. So there we go, Sam. That is, if you can see, really, that is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It will really restore your faith in the importance and power of photography.
So we've got a nice balance there of kind of just practical things that you can put in your kit bag and ideas as well. I like that, Marcus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. That's brilliant. Really good to chat to you, Marcus, and I will see you next week.
See you next week, Sam. Well, there you have it. We've gone through 5 essential items for your photography kit that won't break the bank. Just to recap, here are the 3 main things you should be taking away from this episode. We've shown you how a simple reflector and a shower curtain, yes, a shower curtain, can completely change how you use light in your photography. We've also talked about how 2 brilliant books on photography and ways of seeing can give you a fresh perspective on your work. And finally, we discussed how a tether cable is the simple solution that can elevate your professional workflow.
And thanks for listening to this week's episode. If you want to make sure you never miss a show, head to our website and sign up for the newsletter. We'll be back next week with more practical advice to help you grow your business. See you next time.